All right, everybody. Hi, welcome to the Guy Howard Twitch Takeover. I am Guy Howard. I'm here with Anthony Matsen today. We're going to talk a little bit about 3D printing, but before we get into that, I want to give you a little bit of a rundown of what the whole takeover thing is about. So we have a lot of really interesting stuff going on here at IntelliGenesis, and this week you're going to get to see a lot of that stuff, learn about a lot of that stuff from my point of view. They've made a terrible mistake, and they asked me to start telling the story of IntelliGenesis, so I'm going to do that.
Who made that decision?
I don't know, but
We should talk about that.
Yeah, well, it sounds great to me, but yeah, maybe they should talk about that. So I'm really excited because I get to talk about all kinds of fun stuff, including 3D printing, which I'm going to learn a lot about tonight. But in addition...
Wait, I thought you were teaching.
No, I thought you were teaching.
Oh.
Oh, well, we'll get this worked out.
Figure it out.
Yeah, don't worry, we'll be fine. So later this week, not only do you get this 3D printing talk, tomorrow we have a talk with Antonio Sanchez. We're going to talk about immersive technologies at IntelliGenesis. That's some of our VR stuff, some of our game-based learning stuff. A lot of really exciting things there, one of my favorite projects. On Wednesday, I have an interview with one of our interns, Claire Kim. She's been an intern with us twice. She's going to give you all the dirty secrets about what it's like to be an intern at IntelliGenesis. She's going to tell you what it's like to have me as a mentor. I don't know what she's going to say. I'm hoping it's mostly good, but we'll see.
That's going to involve chicken.
Well, maybe. You know, I do like...
She bribes you with Popeyes.
I do love Popeyes, so maybe, you know, that might come up. These are the things we're all going to be learning this week. We'll see. On Thursday, we're going to do a virtual escape room with Jeremiah Jensen. He's our COO. That'll be exciting because it's going to be the two of us, and I'm going to be dependent on him to get out of this room.
You are so going to be stuck.
Yeah, I don't know that we're going to make it.
Yeah. Bring snacks.
Yeah, bring snacks. Thankfully, it's virtual, so they can't actually lock me in a room, but it's pretty much.
It's JJ, though, so...
You never know. We may be that bad. Friday, my very favorite special guest will be joining us. I'm sorry. You're not my favorite.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's going to be like that tonight, huh?
Yeah, we're starting right there.
I remember that.
Okay.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, on Friday, my very favorite special guest, my daughter, Allie, will be...
all right.
Yeah,
okay.
you don't win that
one.
Sorry.
Yeah. She is kind of cute.
She is really cute. Yeah. She'll be joining me to do a robot coding exercise. So we're going to talk about some of the stuff we do for kids here at IntelliGenesis.
Translation, she's going to teach you how to code.
Well, she's pretty much better than me. She's 7 now, so yeah, she's getting there. She certainly believes she's smarter than me in every way. I think this is normal.
It's just going to get worse.
Yeah.
Okay.
And last but not least, on Friday, we're going to do a March Madness watch-along. My alma mater, my Iowa State Cyclones, are in the tournament. They're an 11 seed. They're playing LSU at 7:20 on Friday. We're going to watch that game, and we're going to talk about the AI that we built to predict the outcome of the tournament.
Who's going to win?
You'll have to tune in Friday and see. I hope Iowa State, but they're not going to win.
Did you weight that?
Did I wait what?
The AI.
Oh, no. You know what? I didn't. I should have cheated.
Probably. Yeah.
I should have. We actually don't have to turn in our answer till Wednesday. Maybe I'll go back and...
Back in time?
Yeah, change
AI
a couple
time machine.
parameters. We'll see what we can do. All right. So, that's a little bit of what's going on this week. Like I said, I'm really excited about it. I can't wait to get to all the other cool things that we're doing. But I'm also excited about today, where, like I said, I am joined by Anthony Matsen, who is one of my favorite guests of the week.
Yeah, you're going to say that every night, aren't you?
Probably. Well, Claire will be my favorite current intern at IntelliGenesis.
She's your only intern. Oh.
That's why my child is my favorite child. It's my only child.
I mean, Claire is really intelligent. She's really smart.
She is. So yeah. We're doing some 3D printing, and actually right now we are in the Fabrication Lab at IG Labs.
Really?
Which is, it's a really cool room. You can kind of see a lot of the stuff that's going on around us. We got 3D printers that I'm blocking some of the view of. We've got a camera here that's showing you.
I don't know how you're doing that. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not
it's over here.
Wow.
It's over here.
In my face? Really?
Sorry, no, it's right here.
That's all right. That's fine. I
So-
don't do the whole Twitch thing very much other than watching, so this is...
Yeah. That's also going to be an exciting part of this week. Everybody who doesn't normally do Twitch stuff, I'm making them get on
I watch a lot of
Twitch.
Twitch. I'm just not... I'm a behind-the-camera kind of guy.
Okay, all right.
I don't know what that means, but...
Yeah. Well, you're an in front of the camera guy today, so it's right there. You're in front.
I feel like Angie's probably going to have us wanting to do this more.
I don't think so. I'm waiting for just the power in the room to just go off mysteriously. Angie's like, this was a mistake. We're not doing this.
Not putting those guys in front of cameras ever again.
This is over. So we got this is our room where we do lots of really interesting fabrication stuff, and that includes 3D printing.
Here, do you?
You know what? I know some things.
Okay.
I know things. There's 3D printers. I learned this week. We have a resin printer and filament printers.
Yeah, that's
So-
that. Am I doing this wrong? There we go.
It's
That's
okay. If
the
you
one.
point to the real thing, you'll always be right.
Oh,
Yeah. So
that's really good life advice.
Yeah. So I know almost nothing about 3D printing, and that's why Anthony is here to help me.
I also know almost nothing about 3D printing.
That's a lie. He knows a lot. But we're going to show you some of the cool stuff he's printed. We're going to show you some of the stuff we have going right now. But this is really just a really cool room where we have the ability to do some of this stuff. You can kind of see over there, there's a big ventilation tube. So if we're doing
This guy
stuff.
right here.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
look,
if
I'm
we're-
getting the hang of this thing.
Yeah, you're learning how to point with a finger. It's
Hey,
great.
look, I got a lot to say, and I don't know what I'm allowed to say, so we're just going to keep it locked down.
Whatever you want to
For
say.
safety's
just,
sake.
Just go for it. Work
Yeah.
safe. Work appropriate.
Is that
So-
what it is?
yeah.
Is that an OSHA thing?
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
So yeah, we do some interesting stuff in here, and we're going to show you some of the prints we've done. We've done some really cool stuff for some of the projects we do here. We actually work on, and some of the stuff we've done that's a little more fun than just regular old work. So we're going to do a little bit of all of that tonight. We got you for about an hour and a half. So I guess maybe let's start with you a little bit, Anthony. Like,
Who am I? Where am I?
Who are you? How did you start 3D printing things? Like, where did your interest come from?
All right. Well, I guess I'm a tinker, so I love to play with different things. I'm always trying to get my hands on stuff, tear it apart, put it back together, figure out where it worked or how it works. My introduction to 3D printing actually came through an internship through Anne Arundel County, part of a workforce development. I interned with Traverse and IntelliGenesis. And that's kind of where I got to. Actually, this creature right here, if I can grab it really quick. This is there.
Yeah, maybe just take it up there to
Okay,
the thing.
All right, making me move. I see how it is.
Yep.
So this project, which I'm doing a terrible job of displaying, is a robotic arm. No? Okay. Look, you're gonna do the holding.
Do you want me to hold it for
Yeah,
you?
Please.
All right, I'll hold it for
Yeah,
you.
you're better at this than I am.
Okay.
Watch the back end of that.
All right, I'm a little scared of
You're
you
dropping
breaking.
my tray.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's a tray out.
There we go.
There
we go.
Well, we should have practiced this.
We should have.
Okay,
but, yeah.
let's not ever again.
This would be less fun if we practiced. All
That's
right.
exciting.
Yeah.
So this was one of the projects I worked on during my internship. This robot arm came to us in pieces, quite literally. It was shattered, and Scribbs, my boss here, handed me a Pelican case and said, "See what you can do with this." And so it's a Pelican case. I don't know what it was, so I opened it up, and there was a whole bunch of broken pieces, wiring, circuit boards, and a whole bunch of chaos. And I said, what is this supposed to be? And he goes, it's a robotic arm. We're going to do some IoT, industrial control kind of things with it, but we need to fix it first. And I was like, great. And he's like, well, you said you can fix anything. And I said, sure.
That's the word he used.
Yeah, it was great.
That is something he says all the time. He can fix anything. This is what Anthony tells us.
I say that, or Scripps says that?
Oh, you say that
That
all
is
the time.
true. I do say that all the time.
And he's right most of the time. Pretty much all the time.
I'd say like a solid 90, never.
Yeah, give or take.
Okay, yeah, but 99% of the time, if I can get my hands on it and I can figure it out, or I can play with it, I can figure it out. In this case, I had to reprint a whole bunch of parts. Some of the blue pieces I had to redo, some of the black pieces. The wiring had to be redone. I had to fiddle with some of these servos. It was JJ. I used to sit, my desk was right outside of JJ's office, and every time he walked into work, it looked like a work table. Scribbs used to tell me I needed to get one of these big workbenches to work on because it was covered in pieces and parts. So the way I got into 3D printing was Scribbs goes, I think I have the files, or we can find the files. You'll have to print them and then put it back together and see if it works.
So you had never printed anything before
Never.
you did this?
No, not at all.
Okay.
We can put that down now.
All
I'm
right,
sure it's very exciting. It is kind of heavy, actually.
I'm glad I didn't drop it.
Yeah, I mean,
It's already a victory.
I've got another base over there for another arm that came to me in pieces. So yeah, it never 3D printed, and so he said, okay, there's this program. Here you go. Here are the files, and good luck. I mean, he actually did give me some directions, told me how to set stuff up in a little bit, but for the most part, it was just playing with it.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. I mean, that is how you learn most things, right? Is you just kind of start playing with it, and you know, it's nice that you had a little bit of flexibility to like, okay, let me see how this works, see what this does.
Yeah.
So that's cool. I didn't know that was the first thing you print. Honestly, I've seen that around. I didn't even realize it was 3D printed until you handed it to me just now, and I saw all the stuff on it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So that is pretty cool.
I have a number of friends that 3D print, so I'd been interested in it before. I'd looked into it a little bit, but I'd never seen the software. One of my friends does a lot of prop making. Yeah. He's was a theater major, works in theater kind of, and he makes a lot of really cool stuff. Another friend does pretty much all Star Wars things. So he's like Mandalorian armor, the helmets.
Okay.
So I called them a lot. I was like, hey.
I heard we got a Mandalorian we're going to get to in a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Spoilers.
Secrets.
Spoilers. Keep it on the DL.
Secrets.
All right.
Yeah.
So you want to show us some of these printers? Because we have a bunch of printers back here. Like I said,
do.
I just learned the difference between resin and filament, so I'm not the best person to walk us through this. But
resin printing is right here. These are all. I don't know if you. I have my back to the camera. It's fantastic.
Oh, sorry. I switched to the resin printer. All right, there you go.
These are all filament printers. I guess you could call them FDM printers. What they do is they lay molten plastic essentially in layers, and you use a program, a slicing program. I personally use Cura, and you take a model and you feed it to this program, modify all the settings based on the filament you're using and the type of model, and then what it does is it lays a layer of plastic on top of itself over and over and over and over and over again. So you'll hear me say slice or G-code a lot. The slice is as basically a slice of a layer, right? And the G-code is the code that it does that in. There's a big difference between these FDM printers and the resin printer. Resin printer does strictly resin. Okay. This uses a combination of lights, lasers, and a curing process to cure that resin. I'm actually just learning about resin printers. They tend to be a little bit more expensive than these ones back here. So I don't know as much about those yet, but it's been something I've been reading about since Jason was bringing one in, and I'm going to get a chance to fiddle with it. One of the big things to note about resin printers, though, is you do have to have them in a fairly ventilated environment. Yes. This big long tube right here that you see, if I can grab it, nope, can't grab it, is actually attached to an exhaust fan. And we've got 4 of them around the room that are used for a number of different projects, which we can talk about later, from soldering and all that jazz.
Sure.
These printers, right now what we're doing is we're printing in PLA. And PLA Plus, which is probably the most friendly version of filament printing. Feel like you're nodding your head at me. You have questions?
No, I'm good. I'm listening. I'm learning. I mean, so we have like a whole bunch of printers, and I know we have printed a bunch of stuff. We got some of it sitting around. I'll start here. How about this? I will start with the work stuff, and you can do the cool stuff. I shouldn't say cool stuff. This is cool too.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
that's probably cooler than what I printed.
It's a brick, right? I throw it at things.
No,
I know it's a Jetson. I got you.
Same with this.
Yeah. This is a Nano, right? And this is an NX. Yeah. So here's a couple of things we've printed that are, I think, really interesting. So we have a partnership with NVIDIA. They're our very good friends. We love NVIDIA. And one of the things that we are working with them on is some of their AI processing. We're using we're integrating a lot of GPUs into a lot of the stuff we're doing. And this is one of the things they sent to us. So this is a Jetson NX. So I'm going to take it out of the case. You know, we have it's a lot like a Raspberry Pi, except it has a GPU on it. So it's kind of designed for AI processing and some stuff like that. So like a Raspberry Pi, though, you got to put it in some kind of case because you don't want this just kind of sitting out. So Anthony here printed us a little case for it.
You're killing me, Smalls.
I'm killing you? What did I do
You're-
wrong? I put it back together, right?
No, you're killing me.
Did I put it backwards? No, it's good.
Stop touching things.
All right.
No touching.
I just... Hey, how's it going, Claire? I think that's Claire. It looks like Claire.
It says Claire.
Yeah.
We talked about you.
Yeah, we told them that they should come back on Wednesday to see you.
Yeah.
Look, man, I think I had it in there pretty much right.
Mostly.
Yeah, pretty
Mostly
much.
right, only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Yeah.
I don't have either one of those.
This is why Anthony is the expert and I'm not. Sorry. So yeah, we have a nice little Jetson in a package here. It's got your ports. It's got your fan on the top. It's very cool. I like it.
Same with this print.
Yeah. That one I don't know how to take the lid off, so I will let you do that one.
Why are we going to take the lid off?
Well, we don't have to, but I did for that one, so I thought you might want to.
This one has a nice IG Labs on it.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm not going to pull this apart. Scribs will be upset with me. All right, there you go.
Wait, what are you handing it to me for? He's going to get mad at me now.
You're more valuable?
Nah, that's not true.
Okay.
So yeah, this is the NX.
I'm holding the breakable part? How about that?
Well, the breakable part is the NX. I don't want to break that. It's more expensive than that.
That's true.
Yeah. But yeah, so NX, same idea, right? It's like a Raspberry Pi, GPU enabled, and it's a very small computer. So
quite a bit more processing. You can do some really cool stuff with these.
yeah. If you would like to know about some of those cool things, next week on Tuesday, we are having a watch party to go along with NVIDIA's GTC conference. And I'll be hosting that, so you can, we'll see. We'll be showing off some of our cool things that we can do with Jetsons.
They're really trusting you a lot with this camera thing.
They are. It's crazy. I don't know why. I don't know why they would do this, but they are.
This is another case that we printed. This is for a Raspberry Pi that we were working on. Again, IG Labs on the base there. I don't know if you could see that. We do a lot of modeling here in the lab. One of the big things that we do is kind of create custom designs, whether it's monitor stands, cases for Raspberry Pis or Jetson Nanos, the NXs, anything that we come up with an idea with that we might be able to utilize in some of our training programs. We're doing a lot with SCADA, though I do try to say SCADA periodically just to watch, Scribbs' eyes twitch a little bit. He says it sounds a little bit too much like SCAT, but, whatever.
Yeah.
So we're doing stuff with IoT, with SCADA. We've got which you can't see right now, is a plant that's in the works of being fixed. So a lot of prototyping. And from there we can do more permanent things. This is all done in PLA. PLA is a pretty good material. It's very forgiving. It's got fairly low temperature shrinkage. So, when you print these things, it's molten plastic, right?
Yeah.
So that plastic has got to shrink a little bit. So some plastics do not recover well from that. So you got to kind of plan for it, like ABS. ABS has to be printed in a confined environment. It's got some fumes that come off of it, so you need a heated bed, you need a heated enclosure. Any kind of breeze can spoil that print. But the upside of ABS is that it's super, super durable. Think Legos. So if we go down that route with something, we want to do something cheap like a PLA that we can kind of model or fiddle with. We throw things into Tinkercad or other CAD programs. We do stuff in Blender. Kind of create some of our own custom designs. Antonio actually does some of that stuff. I am learning. I made the Blender donut.
Okay.
Which apparently is something everybody does. He has made fun of my donut. Apparently it was too perfect.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's awful, sounds like.
Apparently donuts don't look right unless they're the right shape or size. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, a lot of what we do with the 3D printing is either print work stuff that we need, monitor stands is a great example, cases, or it's for prototyping things. We have a kit that we're putting together for some training that I'm probably not supposed to talk too much about.
Yeah, don't go.
But a lot of what we're going to be working with that is going to be prototyped right here in the lab. We're going to be soldering, we're going to be putting boards together, doing all kinds of stuff, and it'll be some really specialized training that's going to be pretty exciting.
That's cool. That's cool. And I didn't mention before, but I do apologize for the background sound. That is the ventilation system that we talked about that you're hearing is kind of the dull hum underneath our voices. I think we're coming in loud and clear over the top of them, but if you have trouble hearing us, just let us know. So I was thinking now maybe we go and show them some of the other stuff you've
So
you
yeah,
printed.
you actually
We'll say
asked
the
me-
other stuff.
The other stuff.
Yeah.
You actually asked me what my very first print was.
Oh yeah. What was your
So
first
that was my
print?
very first work print, which is legitimately my first. Or sorry,
Yeah,
that,
it's over there. Yeah.
getting my cameras confused again. That was legitimately my first print. However, coming after that, my poor wife, I love her to death. She's incredibly supportive. I'm kind of an all-in person. It's all or nothing.
I didn't
for
know
me.
that about you. I hadn't
Really?
noticed. Yeah.
All this time, you're just now.
No,
yeah?
I know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. She kind of supports my crazy dreams, habits, and all the weird stuff I do. In 2020, when I couldn't find work because of COVID, we were in Pensacola. She signed me up for scuba diving lessons, and I said, "Okay, fine, whatever." Came home during my second class and said, "All right, I'm going to teach." So within a year, 195 dives later, became a PADI dive master. Kind of jump in.
Yeah.
So,
It's another difference between me and you, by the way. I can't swim.
well, you don't need to swim if you're diving.
Well,
You got this floaty thing on your back in air. It's great. It's like the ultimate lazy sport. You should look into it.
Yeah, okay. Maybe.
It's definitely easier
Maybe
than
we'll go
basketball.
sometime.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I feel like you're probably going to try and drown me.
Well, I can't. You got air. Anyway.
Anyways.
You're printing.
So in that vein, so I started 3D printing, and then I decided, well, that wasn't enough. So I purchased my first printer right over here,
Get out of the shot. Yeah.
which is an Ender 3, and so I'm also mildly OCD with things. So what should have only taken me about a couple hours, maybe 2 hours to put together, took me about 6 or 7 as I fine-tuned and twisted and turned and checked all the bearings and whatnot. But then I created my very first print,
Oh.
which is a little dog.
Is it a pig? Oh, it's a dog.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
I,
Wow.
you know, I wouldn't have done
If
that.
he had a name, he would be very sad right now.
All right, we got to show this to the camera, though. This is a really, yes, I thought it was a pig. You know, I'm
It looks
sorry.
like a dog.
It does. It does look like a dog. It just, the tail's not curly. That's kind of the giveaway. But this is
How
a
do you
pretty great
explain
dog.
pugs then? Their tails don't curve.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's not like a curly Q like a pig.
Oh.
That's what I should have known.
Oh. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I'm not.
And then, so this is just something that's on the printer. It was their test print, so it was nothing I had sliced. So I was, okay, cool. Well, let me do my own slice. This is actually from Thingiverse. It is a test print. And what that does is it tests all the different facets of 3D printing.
Yeah.
So you have curvatures here. You have, this tests your bed adhesion as well as your layers. This little point thing over here.
Sorry.
This tests the nozzle movement speed. You have angles. You have circle, like all the different components into 3D printing. So it came off the bed like that. I didn't have to make any adjustments. So I figured I was pretty much dialed in. Pretty good.
The printer was right.
Yeah, my printer was right. Yeah. So I'm a giant nerd. I don't know if you know this. Yeah, you do. Yeah. Let's be honest. I'm a giant nerd, so I decided I'm going to go find out and figure some things that I want to print, and then I decided I was going to build a D&D dungeon in my basement. Which, by the way, if my wife is watching, hi, I'm building a dungeon in the basement.
Not a real one, probably.
No.
Not important. Yeah,
No,
keep it moving.
Let's move.
Keep it moving. Yeah.
Moving on, making it awkward. So I went and printed this. And I haven't actually, where am I going with this?
Right here.
You're the holder.
All right, yep, I'm a
you're the
holder.
holder.
Yep.
We've already determined this.
Yeah.
So this actually is printed in 3 different parts. I wasn't sure if my printer would be able to hold it. It's a dice tower, which I've gotten a lot of grief over.
Go in there.
But
I respect it. I'm here for the dice.
Yeah. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
It's got some really crazy cool features. There's a stained glass window right here that you can see. I don't know if you can get that into the camera. Yeah. Wow.
If it'll focus.
No, not so
Yeah,
much.
it's not
There's no
gonna focus.
focusing. Anyways,
Yeah.
I just glued it together actually. I've been putting off doing some finishing touch on it because this is going to be something I give to a family member for present. My father-in-law is a massive D&D Pathfinder nerd as well. I married into a really nerdy family, which is good for me.
Yeah.
They put up with a lot of my craziness. So we have a family game night, or did when they lived in the States still. So this is going to be something I'm going to be finishing and sending over to him. The designer of this her name is Kim. I'm going to butcher the name. Burio, I think. It's Fate's End design. I have a number of her prints that I've done, and she's an incredible designer. Cool part about this print is that it required 0 supports. So a lot of times when you're printing, as you create an arc or an overhang, right, this section gets to free hang from the bed. So if you don't have supports, you're basically printing one layer at a time, so it'll just droop and fall.
Yeah, okay.
So supports take up a lot of filaments. There's some challenges with them taking them off, cleaning up the print or whatnot, and so that was it was really cool to find a designer who would design without the need for supports, and that was kind of like my first thing that I printed that was really for me, and apparently it's not for me, actually.
No, that's cool. So one thing, since you mentioned supports, I have to tell a story, especially since Claire is in the chat.
Uh-oh.
Also, she likes it. It's gray, so it makes her happy.
See, it makes me happy, too.
The first time I saw Claire, our intern, 3D print something, and she brought it to me and showed it to me, I looked at it, I was like, what is that? What is all this junk on the sides?
I remember that.
She goes, it's supposed to be there. Those are the supports. I'm like, well, why did you put those on there? Shouldn't those not be there? She's like, no, you have to take them off. It's like, what? So yeah, this is, again, not my expertise, but I'm learning. I've learned a lot. Yeah, very slowly. That's how I learn everything.
That's all right.
So, but yeah, no, this is super cool. By the way, I just want to reiterate, this is also an AMA. Maybe I didn't say that at the beginning. You guys can ask us questions. Anybody who's in chat, if you have questions, not just about 3D printing, but about IntelliGenesis as a whole,
Can we
IG
talk
Labs.
about Claire's stabbing supports with scissors?
I was just going to ignore it because I'm glad it wasn't me, but no, that's,
I didn't know she was violent. All right.
She spent a lot of time around me. I have that effect on people.
Fair enough.
It happens. But yeah, if you have questions about IG, about IG Labs, about any of the work we do here, some of those I can't answer. But some of them I can, and I'm glad to answer the ones I can answer. So feel free to...
Once he can, he'll just make something up and it'll be great.
That's true. We'll see if you can tell when I'm just making an answer up versus when I actually am answering a question for real.
I think you made it all up. Oh.
Don't tell them. No. But yeah, so this is super cool. I'm a fan.
You're starting to stress me out.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Wave it about like you just don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
Fun fact, actually, I don't possess 95% of the prints I've made.
Oh.
So over Christmas time period, I did 6 or 7 big dice towers. The Cthulhu one was really cool. It was a really giant. That was my very first 7-day print. It was very stressful.
Gosh, that's something I didn't even think about. I meant to ask, like, how long does it take stuff to print? Like, I know.
There's not a quick answer for that.
Right. How long did that take to print? Why don't we start there? The dice tower.
Probably total print time probably around 20 hours.
Okay.
Maybe 23. So there's a lot of factors that play into it. Claire would like to know what
is IntelliGenesis. All right. Well, I'll pause. We'll pause you here.
Yeah,
I'll take that one. A corporation. All right. No, I'm just kidding. IntelliGenesis is the great company where we all work. We are a defense contractor. We're headquartered in Columbia, Maryland. We do a whole lot of work across a whole lot of different sectors, which we won't go into too much here, but yeah. And tonight we are here to show you some of the cool stuff that we're doing. How many napkins are on my desk? That is a tougher one to answer. Probably 20 or 30, I would guess. Never know when you're going to need some. I didn't use any today.
Maybe that was me.
Yeah, maybe.
I was at your desk.
Oh, well. There you go.
Playing with your dice.
Oh. Were you using them in your dice tower?
I had to test a dice tower.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
I forgot my dice at home. Well, I had my giant D20, and I figured that wouldn't...
It won't fit.
Yeah.
You don't want to get a jam in there.
No, I was compensating with my D20.
Yeah, so, that's fine. Dice are there to be used. There to be rolled.
They looked lonely.
Yeah. I understand.
Yeah.
All right.
I rolled a 16, by the way.
Oh, good job.
Yeah,
good job.
It wasn't critical, but it was good enough.
It's good enough, yeah. All right. So what were we talking about
I have no idea.
before we were asked about what our company is?
Oh, how long it takes to print
times.
things.
Yeah.
So it depends. So the biggest factors are going to be the speed of the printer itself, which has some limitations. For example, this big guy right here, this is a Ender 5 Plus. It's got a really big plate, and it has dual Z-axis, and it's also got a direct drive extruder, which is a whole bunch of words that I have not explained, and that's okay. We can explain them later if people get curious.
Yeah.
But because of how this plate is set, the only thing that moves itself is this extruder here, which is what lays the filament down. And it runs on this bar, and this plate drops down. Whereas these Ender 3s, the plate moves, and the extruder just, the hot end technically, only moves horizontally. Okay. So because of that, and the type of filament, and the layer height, are all different contributing factors to length. So if I want a really fine print, I'm going to go for a very small layer height. Most of these are running 4mm nozzles, so your layer height is usually a factor of 4.
Right.
So, for example, this is a 0.12 millimeter print height. Okay. So very, very fine. If I wanted to do rough, I'd be in the 0.2, maybe 0.4 if I really wanted to get froggy with it. But what that's going to do is it's going to increase the distance of my layers. It'll be a very rough print. And if I increase the speed of the actual print itself, again, it's going to be really, really rough. So it depends on whether you want to just prototype something,
Right.
throw it out there and see what it looks like, or if you want to make it really fine. The problem when you do that, when you go really rough, is that your tolerances tend to go a little bit out of whack. So, like when we're printing these cases, this is a Raspberry Pi case that we printed. If I go too rough with it, my ports may not quite line up. My holes for my screw heads,
especially, you got really small screw holes there that have to...
they may not quite line up.
Right.
So if you're just trying to get an idea of the general shape, you can go real rough, but I try not to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I should design something in 4 minutes and then print it. I don't think you want that. I don't think that would be entertaining for anybody.
You know what we designed? Spaghetti monster.
Okay.
Filament just everywhere.
Just take one of those filament rolls and... Yeah. There we go. That's what I could do.
Grab one of the blow torches and... No? Okay.
Yeah.
We'd probably get in trouble over that one.
Yeah, probably. I don't think we can blow torch much in here just for fun.
I mean, it's a concrete floor.
Well, that's
We've got a fire extinguisher over there.
Yeah, run right there too. They did put one right in front of the camera area here, just in case, I guess.
Are they saying you're on fire?
Facts don't lie. Yeah. All right. What's the screen guy? We gotta show that guy.
Oh, this guy. You don't like this guy?
Well, we can do him too. I was gonna do both.
Fine.
I'm just jumping into that
So
first.
this is another Kim design, Fate's End printing. So I am learning how to do this. This is a Mind Flayer.
Right on there.
See, look at that.
Yeah.
The reason his skull cap is moving, no, I didn't just decapitate him. He's actually a Volt. So he can hold dice or various other things. It's actually a really, really cool filament. I don't know if you can see. It's a Hatchbox filament, and it's called Sparkle Green. So it's got, frankly, a little bit of glitter melted into the plastic. So it creates this really kind of cool, sparkly filament. I had some leftover filament and decided I was going to do something with it, and this is what I did. It's very exciting.
Yeah.
Just finished today, actually.
That is super cool.
Yeah.
That is probably right there with the Cthulhu in terms of my favorite things I've seen that you've printed.
Yeah, you had to ask me what a Mind Flayer was, so there's that.
Yeah. Look, I'm not up on my D&D, on my specific beasts, my bestiary.
Mordecai's Tomb of Foes.
Yeah, I don't know what that is either.
Okay.
All right. I'm sorry.
My nerd's showing.
I'm sorry. I'm a tremendous disappointment to
Monster
you and everyone. Yeah, I have seen Monster Manuals.
Okay. He's in there too.
Okay. I believe you. I just don't play D&D that much.
Pathfinder?
Or like ever. I've played a pseudo Pathfinder.
Do I got to go to like Warhammer to get you?
Oh, I don't play Warhammer, but
That's how I got JJ.
I have a friend who's very big into Warhammer. He may be watching the stream right now. I don't know. We'll see. Desmond, if you're in the house, shout out for Warhammer. But,
really?
Yeah.
You're gonna shout out for Warhammer?
Well, no, I'm telling him to shout out for Warhammer.
For JJ?
No, Desmond.
Oh.
My friend who plays Warhammer.
You have friends? Not after tonight.
Yeah, acquaintances.
Yeah.
People who tolerate me.
Oh,
You know, it's
more than me.
I
I think they bribed you to hang out with me.
Yeah, your wife tolerates you. You know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, just like mine does me.
Fair enough. All right. So this is another dice tower that we did. Well, I did. All right. I'm gonna try and get this working out here.
There's the really smart Howard is so that is my dad, and he's looking forward to when the smart Howard is on the stream on Friday.
Your daughter?
Yeah.
Hi, guys, Dad.
All right.
So we all know that she's like way smarter than you.
I mean, no is a strong term. I haven't seen her IQ test results yet. We'll see when they come in.
I mean, there's fact
Mm-hmm.
in action.
Yeah. Well, I got to see some proof
All right.
before I give up the belt.
Do you want it in pen or crayon?
Not picky. Either way,
All right, well,
crayon's acceptable.
my wife's in the military. I'll see if I can borrow her crayons. That's a bad military joke. Sorry. Yeah. Moving on. Yeah. So this is a plague doctor. Pretty cool print. Again, no supports.
Get it over here.
There we go. Yeah. So the design on this was pretty epic. I definitely struggled a little bit with getting it done. Okay, so I should, in all honesty, this section right here, that was printed separately of its own accord, so it wasn't just free hanging like that. Because I did say earlier, and I know there's the internet fact checker out there that's going to say, but you said you can't print in open space. But yeah. So that was probably this is the first thing I did for myself.
Okay.
So I've had a printer for almost going on a year now, 8 months or so, and I've done a lot of printing. 99% of it has either been for the lab or for other people. Kind of enjoy making things, but once I've made it, I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah, you give it away, move on to the next thing.
Yeah, move on to the next exciting thing. It kind of works out with my background, kind of a jack of all trades. I've worked in pretty much most industries, so I know I look like I'm 12. It's fine.
The beard helps. The beard.
I had to. I mean,
beards make you look older.
Yeah.
So Claire wants to know if she can use the fancy printer tomorrow. I mean,
we
probably.
can work something out. I mean, a guy is probably going to ask for more Popeyes.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, you can use whatever you want. It's not my printer when you break it.
That's fair.
It's up to them.
Yeah.
But so we have some stuff that is printing now, and actually some things that just finished.
Yeah.
It's going to ask what those are, and actually, I'm going to switch our view so we get a little bit of a closer look at this side. So let's start with this. I'll admit I was cheating. I asked Antonio earlier what those were, so I know what they are. But for our audience at home, why don't we start with those as the more boring of the two prints?
That's fair. That's fair. Where am I looking now? I'm very confused.
Looking here. So it's okay. I mean, you can still look there if you want to. They're seeing this camera, so you can kind of put your finger.
It's a Twitch thing, right?
Yeah, you can take a finger and kind of go like that, and they can see your finger.
You're gonna be like that, aren't you?
No, whatever you need me for, I'm here for you.
I'm gonna talk to your wife about you.
I'm here to help.
Yeah.
Whatever
Facilitate.
you need. Yeah.
Moving on.
Master facilitator.
Claire, you have put up with so much. My appreciation of you grows every day. Anyways, so right here, so as I said, we print a lot of stuff for the lab. And unfortunately, not all of it's very exciting things, whether they're monitor stands, computer stands, pads, cut things. In this particular case, we have a cable management issue that we've been kind of messing with recently. So these are all wire management clips. I believe he printed these ones specifically for the printers. So you can't see it because we've kind of tucked everything away fairly well. But anytime we need to move one of these printers or we need to work on something, if we got to replace a part or whatnot, it's like sheer chaos with the wiring. So we finally decided that we had a break in time where we could avoid working on a couple things, or we're waiting to work on a couple things, so we decided to take care of some wire management issues.
Okay.
So that's on deck. After we're done tonight, I'll actually be starting to print to get some stuff going for the desks out front to help with some wire management out there.
All right.
it's kind of nice to be able to very cheaply print and work with our own stuff. So a lot of times if we have a clip that we need that is either A, you can't just get by itself, or B, is a ridiculous amount of money based on infill and material types, we can usually print a lot of that stuff and just design exactly what we need and move on. And we only need to buy one.
Yeah.
As opposed to buying 30 and then, have a junk drawer. Or a junk case. Or in our case, a junk cage.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense. All right. So the cool one over there, I also happen to know what it is, but I'm still going to let you explain it. Let's see. Can they see it? Actually, I think you pushed this right into the way.
Did I?
Yeah. So I'm going to pull that over.
See, this is why I'm not in charge of things.
There we go. There you go.
I'm better behind the camera, not in front of the camera.
Yeah.
All right. So
we're good.
This is a test print. You may have picked up, a lot of us are nerds here. So Jason brought this in, I think over the weekend, and we were going to do some test printing for some modeling. So one of the really cool benefits of resin printing is that it's perfect for prototyping because you get a very, very fine finish. You get a lot of detail, and you can do some very precise prints with it. Because FDM printers with like PLA and that kind of stuff are extruding that plastic, and it does have some shrinkage or warping, even if it's even if it's only measured by micrometer. Resin doesn't quite suffer from that, so you can get some really great detail, really great precision prints at a relatively fast pace for that. But we did need to make sure it works. You pull something out of the box. We don't want to just jump right into our prototyping, because then you could lead to a lot of frustration. So we are printing a Mandalorian statue because Star Wars.
Yeah. No. Because Star Wars is always an acceptable reason.
Yes.
So.
What you don't see here, actually, on the table, I did lie. This isn't everything I printed for myself. I have been working on some Star Wars stuff for my wife. She is a massive Star Wars nerd. Okay. So I am redoing some light switches, and I'm doing some specialized modeling we have a Star Wars room in our house. I don't think I told you that.
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, it's like 100% Star Wars decorated, and we're changing out some of the walls. I'm building some Death Star walls.
What's like in the room? Is it like a bedroom or?
No, it's I guess our living room, but it's our gaming room.
Oh, okay,
so
okay. So
we have like some tabletop games, board games.
Okay.
We have video games.
So it's like a game room,
it's
basically.
It's a game room.
All right.
And
that's pretty cool.
when we moved in, we bought the house. She's like, "This is the Star Wars room," and I said, "What?" Because I'm a guy. I'm like,
yeah, not a hard sell for you.
Like, am I dreaming? I get a Star Wars room?
Yeah.
So
that she wants. That's the important part. Yeah.
So she's actually so we've got lightsabers in there. We've got a bunch of art.
Claire says, "Wait, there's a resin printer."
Hey, Claire, welcome to the conversation. That's a resin printer. So, yeah, as any good nerd, our first approach was, let's test the full build volume and make a Mandalorian.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's I don't know if you can tell from the camera there, but yeah, it's definitely a.
We got about half of it done. Right here, you can see. I don't know if you can see it beneath the tray, but his arms are just about done. We're moving on to the shoulders. There was a bit of a heated debate on whether we do Grogu, which is the child, or Mando. But I mean, full build volume.
Right, you had to go Mando.
And my argument was we could have done Grogu with the frog in his mouth, but I don't know if anybody had that model, and so we'd have to make the model and then go do the thing. Yeah, so
that sounds like a lot of work. So
yeah, it is what it is.
Claire wants to print a gray square. That seems wasteful. Call me.
A gray square?
Yeah. I mean, that's what Word said.
Claire, I appreciate you. We can make a gray square. I've actually got some. You know what we need to do is we need to take this and we need to print Claire one of these.
A bag, yeah. Here, let's switch it back so you can show them. You can show them that.
So we're gonna print Claire a bag of holding, but we're gonna make it gray.
Yeah. You got to show the inside better than that. Can they see the inside? Let's see.
Can we?
Let's see.
I got a phone around here somewhere.
Is it,
no
no,
light
it's
there.
not going to give it the light.
Hold on.
There's actual stuff inside the bag. It's tough to see. Let's see if I...
Let's see if I can... No,
yeah.
no.
Oh, there you go. You can kind of,
almost.
if you get it in there just right. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
There we go. See, you can kind of see some tools and stuff down in there. So...
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I feel like Claire needs a... yeah, see? On board. Make a holding
Yeah,
for Claire.
she's on it.
Why don't you dial that up?
All right, that's fine. You can do a bag of holding.
I feel like you're panicking when I tell you to go print something.
Oh, you want me to print it?
Oh,
no,
is that
that's-
not clear?
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. This is what I have interns for. It's
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
do these sorts of tasks for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be a nice boss to like make something for your intern? Who's
Yes.
contributed so much time and energy.
Yes, it would be a very nice thing to do.
That's not you.
No.
Okay. I feel like we should have a coaching moment here.
Yeah, it does feel like there's a lesson to be learned here.
I don't know what it is.
Maybe it's that I need to have my interns doing more things, like so I don't have to have these
We're
conversations.
so close.
Maybe I think that's what I'm hearing here.
Claire, I'm sorry.
My mom thinks this is cool.
That's because your mom is awesome.
Yeah, she is. She is. I agree. But yeah,
We should probably talk about work things.
I mean, we talked about some work things already. Like we have, the Jetsons and those guys. Oh, do you have something else in mind? Did I forget something?
I don't know. Did you?
I don't know.
You're in charge. Wait, I have an idea. Let's call your intern.
That's true. She can.
Probably knows.
Yeah, we can get Claire on the phone. So no,
um,
I think we got most everything. I think we got all the work stuff. I think we got.
Well,
we certainly should.
I've said prototyping a lot. We should probably talk about this.
We can talk about those.
So this is a prototype for something that we're working on. It's not quite exactly the prettiest thing in the world because, prototype. But we work with a lot of different groups. So Dreamport is one of the people we partner with. We do a lot with them. There's a couple other companies. This is a simulated airport. Okay? So there's a Raspberry Pi in there. And this is a 3D printed runway light station that we've done. So a lot of the stuff, we talk about training, right?
Yep.
So a lot of the partnerships that we're working with, Claire would like to know why you don't have another intern. Because you're the only intern he needs. There,
True.
answer that question.
True facts. Good answer.
Yeah,
That's a great answer.
I got you.
Thanks.
I got you.
Thanks.
So, my background is in everything from IT to construction, industrial control. So this lab is actually why I have a job. This is like the perfect environment for me. I'm learning coding. Actually, I'm relearning a bunch of coding, and I'm teaching myself some Java to learn how to build some of these applications that can integrate with simulated SCADA environments or IoT devices. And from there, we can model all that stuff right here. We can build these prototypes. We can test them. We can write our own code. We can test for vulnerabilities. I can grab code offline, test it against what we're doing, and then build defenses even. Yeah. So there's so much that we can do in this lab. I mean, it looks like a fabrication lab, and when you wander through here, often it looks like chaos.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Well, it's okay. I mean, it's a lab. It's a fabrication lab.
Yeah.
It's supposed to look like chaos.
So yeah, I mean, any given day you might have a laptop torn apart. You might have some soldering being done on a various Raspberry Pi robot project. You remember the robot car that was trolling around with the LiDAR radar on it for a while? We were doing some testing with that kind of stuff. That was a mess. It was an awesome mess.
Yeah.
But it's really cool to be able to do that kind of stuff here.
Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, there was tape on the floor, and we were navigating a car based off a LiDAR radar. It was pretty neat.
Yeah. So, all right. Big question for you.
Uh-oh.
What is the big thing that you want to print? Like I've seen people print full Iron Man suits online, and I've seen people print the helmets. I know Jeremiah wants to print a Skyrim helmet.
Yeah, he wants to go for the horns.
What's your thing?
I'm actually going to be helping him with the slicing for that and building and then printing. I'm probably going to do it, and then he's going to finish it.
Right. He will pick it up and say, "Look what I did."
Yeah.
But what do you want to do? What's your flavor of nerd that you wanna print something gigantic?
That's so hard.
I know.
That's really hard. So, barring the whole miniature, so when I say dungeon, oftentimes when you're in a tabletop game, you have drawn on a little erasing map thingy where the characters are and the terrain and whatnot. So, like, barring that, that's kind of a long-term project for me. My big thing that I want to do, the big thing, is actually not for me.
It's a trend with you. It's a trend I'm noticing. Yeah.
I really like to make things, and I really like to build and fabricate, but I don't really know that I want to do that so much for myself. Like, if I'm doing it for somebody else, then it's worth the effort, it's worth the struggle. So that's something I want to make for my wife.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. So you don't want to give away the secret?
Oh no, she knows. She knows.
Okay. All right.
It's actually a big part of the reason that I learned how to 3D print, beyond my love for D&D and miniatures and nerdy things, Star Wars and whatnot. My long-term goal is I'm going to build probably 4 full sets of Mandalorian armor.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what do you need 4 sets for?
See, that's the trick, right? If I can figure out how to do some custom modeling, I'm going to, theoretically, keep in mind this is all theory because I'm still teaching myself modeling, I would like to build Mandalorian armor that has been customized to Disney princesses.
Huh.
So you know how Boba Fett has the skull on his arm, what do you call that?
Not greaves. Greaves are your legs.
I'm sure if Matt was
shoulder,
watching, he would be able to tell us.
Yeah, the shoulder piece.
Yeah. The name is escaping me right now. Anyways, so he's got his symbol. Mando has his symbol.
Yeah.
I want to customize that for each individual Disney princess that she really likes. So Belle will have the rose and the do that as embossed, and then of course painted to simulate or emulate their particular type of dress or clothing. So Belle was in gold for the ball.
Pauldrons. Yes.
Pauldrons. That's the word. Thank you. I was like Paul, and it's not Paul.
Yeah.
But it's pauldrons.
Yeah. It's like cauldron.
There is Mulan is one of her favorite princesses.
Okay.
So all
like
red.
a dragon thing on there. Okay.
Who else?
Snow
Tiana.
White, Cinderella, Tiana.
Not Snow White, Cinderella. She likes the really strong characters.
Okay.
Not that they weren't strong, but there's a certain amount of fight in my wife that you gotta respect.
All right.
What about,
like a Moana.
Yeah.
Scarlet Witch.
Yes.
Technically a Disney princess.
She's a hardcore Scarlet Witch fan. So. Yeah. I did think about, you know who Dr. Frankenfurter is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so technically, I mean, I feel like Fox bought Disney, so technically he's a Disney princess. So I could swing that one somehow.
Yeah.
But that's for a different day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's like my big long-term goal.
Okay. All right.
And then I'm certain at some point that she would really like me to print a full-size Star Destroyer. Like scale.
Oh, okay.
Scale,
You
not
said
full.
Yeah, you said full size, and I was going to say that.
Look, there's only so much filament on the earth.
I was going to say that's a.
No, she would probably. These are 6-foot tables behind us. She would probably like me to print one that is about that 6-foot table. She's a massive Star Wars nerd.
That would be dope. Where would you put it? Would you hang it from a ceiling somewhere?
Look, man, I just make the things, and she does the decorating of the things.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess if I was going to print something, like I said, I've seen like people print the Iron Man suits. I saw somebody who had a like fully working helmet with the lights built in for the eyes, and they hit a little button and the mask opens up and closes.
Yeah, that's actually something I'm fiddling with. One of the coding projects I'm kind of fiddling with is how to take a Mandalorian visor and integrate it with a Raspberry Pi or I'd prefer to use NVIDIA, like Jetson of some sort, so I get a little bit more processing power and I can do some pretty cool stuff with it, and get like using the AI tracking program that Wade's playing with.
Okay.
Put
it in the visor so you can walk around and see. Boop, boop, boop,
and so this program that Wade's working on is. Can we talk about it?
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's not.
Anyways,
but yeah, it's a tracking thing.
There's
it's
some object
an object
identification
tracking
stuff
yeah.
that he's working on. Look,
Yeah.
man, I know so much about Disney princesses because I love Disney. Okay, let me back that train up. I enjoy Disney a lot. My wife is mildly obsessed.
There's no shame in Disney princesses, man. I have a 7-year-old daughter. That's why I know a lot about Disney princesses. But there's no.
I have a goddaughter. I was like, she's my buddy.
Yeah. Like
So,
you said,
I'm gonna take that one. But
there's strong, independent Disney princesses. They're good role models for everybody.
well, like what's her name? Rapunzel. Like Disney's version of wow.
I'm sure that's fine.
Yeah. It's just the building system, HVAC system, quieting down for a while.
Okay.
I don't feel like I have to yell now. That's nice.
Yeah, we can talk like normal people.
Yeah, I'm not normal.
No. Okay.
No. Yeah. Rapunzel. So Disney's new version of Rapunzel is like this super confident, outgoing person. So I definitely want to do something with her, and I'm probably gonna have to do Pascal with a frying pan.
Oh,
It's a Rapunzel thing reference. If nobody gets that, I apologize for being, well, whatever. Anyways.
Yeah, no, I get it. I got you. All right. Well, I think that's about all we had to really talk about. Like I said, this is also time for people to ask questions. So if anybody has questions about company, about stuff we do, give people a little more time to ask that kind of stuff. I mean, do you have any questions? Do you want to ask me anything?
Oh, yeah, sure. Let's sit down, though, because my feet hurt.
Oh,
It was late
okay.
day.
Yeah. Have a seat. We can sit. We can talk quietly, like gentlemen, because there's not a giant ventilation system running.
Yeah. So, you've been with IG for a hot minute, right?
Yeah. I think 14 years. I always lose count because it's started a year after the company did. Yeah. We're running out of toes too. That's unfortunate.
Well, wait. What happened to your toes?
Well, I'm running out. I'm not out.
You should stop them from running.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
We actually have a question. Is there any use of Blender in your 3D projects? So.
Yeah, actually, quite a bit. Antonio does a lot with 3D modeling, and some of the prototypes that we're currently working on, there were no models that we could modify in a CAD program. So we are working on a special SCADA training thing that I can't really talk too much about because, proprietary information. Hey, look, I am a part of proprietary stuff.
Exactly.
It's very exciting.
Yeah, you do important work here.
Right. Blender. So we do use Blender quite a bit for those kind of things. I actually had to learn how to use Blender, which is I'm not an artist. I'm not an artistic person in that capacity. I can build just about anything. I can fix almost anything. But coming up with a design just off the top of my head is really not my strong suit. If you can describe something, I can picture something incredible in my head, but getting it from here to there is... if you say, hey, I need a donut, I'm sorry, I'm going for an old-fashioned, like a glazed donut. That's like what pops into my head. Or an apple fritter, because I love apple fritters. Mm-hmm. I don't go any crazy, So Blender has been a big challenge for me in that capacity. But taking an object that I know or am familiar with and creating that has actually been better. We've fabricated a number of clips and special designs that way. It's actually easier to use Blender for some of that stuff than using a CAD program because the shapes become so malleable.
Yeah.
The downside of Blender in that capacity is that the shapes are pretty malleable, and where CAD programs give you very rigid structures to work with, I am struggling to find that same kind of usage in Blender. However, there's a dude I have been watching on YouTube who built a house with siding, like an old tumbled down ghost house thingy. And he built the thing in like 2 hours from like blank screen to house and foliage and everything. And I went, well, maybe it's just me.
No, I think that guy's probably an expert.
Because like he started with a block and then has foliage, and it was crazy. It was the coolest thing in the world to see. Yeah. So eventually maybe I'll get there, but it's just not my skill set.
Yeah. So one of the things I'm going to piggyback off Claire. She mentioned we used Unity. One of the projects that we used, one of the things I'm going to talk about tomorrow, tune in tomorrow, we did some 3D modeling. I actually took, some people might say I stole, but I would say that I used an IntelliGenesis logo that Claire printed, and I took the model, ran it through Blender, and turned it into an asset that we could put into a game that we developed. So there's an Easter egg IntelliGenesis logo sitting on the ground in the game. But yeah,
I thought it was on the wall.
No, it's on the ground.
Oh, yeah,
it's on the roof of a building.
Yeah.
But
okay.
It's on the wall. But yeah. So let's see. Yeah.
So back to my question.
14 years, long
14
time.
years.
Yeah.
That is a long time. So you've definitely seen IntelliGenesis grow quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you see with the lab? I mean, because I was an intern when we met, and we kind of, I waved at you a little bit, you waved at me, and you had a herd of interns. You're they were like cats. I'll be honest.
Yeah, they kind of were. They kind of still are, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you, they kind of still are. But yeah, no, the lab is interesting because it's not like anything we've ever done before. Like we've always been really straight kind of, working with the government, working with our customers there. And now, we're looking at, where else can we apply some of the expertise we've gotten there? Mm-hmm. What other problems can we solve? And that's not to say that we're going to get away from, working with the government, because that's what we do. But, we can work with some new parts of the government, right? And so it's really interesting to have this like space where we can just do stuff. Like we've never had that before. There's never been a place within IntelliGenesis where like, oh, we want to, build this, we want to build a Mandalorian. Like let's just do this and let's just try it, see what happens. And, the Mandalorian is one example, but there's also a lot of other examples where like, oh, we have these Jetsons that we want to use. We want to put them in, this device over here, and we need some kind of case for that.
Yep.
Let's just print it. Let's just do it. We can just do stuff. And that applies also on, the data AI side where,
Yep.
I'm doing stuff. And, in the past, we've had kind of like, oh, well, we've got machines we can do things on, on the outside, but it's not it's not really an AI conducive environment. To now, we have all kinds of capabilities that we are only just now, really starting to take advantage of, in terms of stuff we can do over here. So I think that's what's really cool is the fact that we're able to do something new and that we are doing something new. And so I think that's probably the coolest thing. The thing I'm most excited about, like, just with the lab in general, is the freedom and the ability to do some things we couldn't do before.
I'm obviously thankful for it because, I have a job. That's big for me.
It's important. It's priority.
Well, I mean, so in 2020, I went 6 months, 60 applications, and didn't get a response. And it was the first time since I was probably, a long time ago, since I've not been able to find work. And I've always been able to pick up trade jobs or different electrical work. I got a lot of electrical HVAC background, electronics, but I didn't want to go back to help desk. Mm-hmm. So this affords me that unique opportunity that I have all these random skills. And I was so incredibly thankful that I met Dan the day I did. Dan is one of the owners of the company, for those of you that aren't on the up and up. And he goes, how, what, huh? He asked me who I was and what I did. And I said, well, it depends on what day it is. So somebody like me that has all of these random capabilities to work with a company that can see some potential in that. Like, hey, look, this guy can do electrical, he can do HVAC, he can do building automation, he understands coding, he knows, new help desk. I had to troubleshoot some sound issues for a guy earlier today.
It's true.
I asked him if he called IT, and he goes, well, who are you? And I said, well, hold on. Let me get my IT cap.
No, it was
Sir,
bad.
have you turned it on and turned it back off?
Yeah. It wasn't turning it on and turning it back off. It was that my mic was muted. All right. It was, it's totally different. Completely different problem.
And the other mic was on, which is why you were,
Yeah.
That's
Look,
okay.
it's complicated. All right.
Yeah,
It was very
hard.
complicated.
Yeah. It wasn't AI.
That's
So,
true.
That's good. Guy has not randomly created Skynet, so that's a positive.
If I could have built an AI, I could have solved this problem in 10 seconds.
I feel like you'd probably name it Guynet though, and I'd be concerned.
Probably something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we got Claire. She's gonna keep you in.
Yeah. Yeah. She tries.
Yeah.
She tries.
So. What is your view then on? I guess a lot of people don't know is that the lab is actually here to facilitate success across the different divisions of IG, right?
Yeah.
Some of the Great Minds guys have come to us previously and said, hey, we need this thing. Can you make this thing? And so Tony and I are like, well, yeah, we can do that. Tony looks at me, can we do that? I said, we're going to figure it out.
We'll find out.
There was some definite trial and error.
Yeah.
We tried to do a little too much too soon, but we ended up creating some pretty cool stuff for them. A couple different occasions, actually, I think. Marketing has come to us a couple times for stuff, so hopefully, you'll dust us off one day and be like, hey, can you make me this cool thing to represent this thing I'm doing? And then
I got to start thinking more about that. I'm bad in the physical space. Like, give me a computer, give me something, inside
should
the
I just
computer.
talk to Sarah?
Oh, possibly. But physical's not my strength. But I got to start thinking about it.
AI is this blending of reality and digital.
Yeah. We can start building a body for my Guynet.
Let's not. I feel like there's a Terminator joke in there somewhere, and
Yeah. What could go wrong?
Claire will be back.
She will tomorrow.
Yeah. She's gonna tell us that we were obnoxious. It's gonna be great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She won't be the only one, I'm sure.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Have you thought about automating her handwriting, by the way?
Yeah, you know what? Maybe that's what we need to do, is build an AI that can write like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why haven't you been in here too much to print?
Well, because I don't know how. It's a thing it's a skill I don't have that I need to learn.
Well, the good news is, we are doing a 3D printing workshop here at the lab.
That's true.
I happen to be teaching that.
Can you tell me a little bit about your 3D printing workshop? What do you do?
So in this first iteration of the workshop, we're doing the bare minimum for people who have never seen a printer before, do not know how any of it works. So our first class, we really talked about all the different materials and the components of a 3D printer. In the second class, we actually built JJ's third printer. Poor JJ had a series of he was like Lemony Snicket. There was a series of unfortunate events. I would like to point out that if he'd listened to me at the very get-go, when I told him very specifically what printer to get, we would have had those issues. But, sometimes you got to struggle, right?
Exactly. That's how you learn.
Yeah.
That's how you learn.
His third printer, we actually built during class, and it's actually over there kicking along, doing its thing. It's actually doing a brilliant job. I really like his bed, the plate that the print is done on. But we talked about all these printers and all the different components. So how the PLA comes from the roll, what is PLA, the difference between PLA, PLA plus, where that, I don't know if you can see it here, but in this little green line back here, or where this filament goes to, is an extruder arm, and how that pushes the filament. And that goes over to a hot end, how it lays that print down. We've done some test printing now. We're teaching people how to slice prints. I'm actually being very kind to some people. I've given them some basic profiles that I have found online and then modified to work in our environments. We talk about environmental factors. So a lot of people don't know that environment plays a huge factor in 3D printing. So how much moisture is in the air? PLA specifically likes to absorb water. So as it absorbs water, weird things happen. Like this guy, which is I think I mentioned this, is a failed print.
That is the best looking failed print I've ever seen.
Yeah, so would you like to show?
Sure, I'll do the honors.
So this is another dice tower. This is a Octopunk or something of that nature. It's a steampunk octopus dice tower. He's really, really cool. He's got some great features. But it may be hard to see it on the camera, but there's a number of layer lines in him.
Let's see, like maybe if I
and you'll actually see.
that?
Well, that's the bed of the print. I mean, there's nothing I can do about that one.
Yeah.
But there's some fine layer lines in there that actually create weaknesses inside the print. And what happens is, as moisture is absorbed into that filament, it basically cooks off while it's being extruded onto the build plate. And so that can cause shifts in the filament. It can cause bubbles, some stringing. And so my little octopi arm here, right, or squid arm, I don't know what he is weak. Mm-hmm. And it'll cause the print to not kind of have the rigidity that we were looking for, the durability. And that's, I mean, it is what it is. I like to print these things. I like to watch the print happen. I like to slice it, kind of see what it's doing. And then once I have it, I'm like, okay, what do I do with it? Obviously, I can't play a tabletop game with 30 dice towers sitting here. I mean, I probably could.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm actually working on printing a GM screen here at home. So there's that. GM, for those that aren't paying attention, are for Game Master. Or DM, like when I grew up, it was a Dungeon Master. But apparently that's no longer a thing. Or it is a thing, but it's not that thing. So,
I've heard both.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm old, I guess. So, where was I? 3D printing. Oh, yes. Yeah. So, one of the big things I cover in my class is failures. The one thing I tell anybody who wants to learn 3D printing is be comfortable with failure. Okay? Unless you have the money to buy one of the really, really fancy 3D printers that are pretty much put together right out of the box and are machined within very precise tolerances, you're going to end up having to troubleshoot it. And even if you buy one of the really fancy 3D printers, you're still going to have to troubleshoot it at some point. You're going to have a nozzle clog or a stepper motor go bad or a leveling problem. So these later sections of this first training are really focusing on that, is how to recognize when your nozzle is beginning to clog, how to clean it, how to maintain the printer. With my background in as a service technician, I have found most failures in equipment could be prevented by simple maintenance and inspection. Catch the belt that's loosening, catch the wheel that's starting to go bad, change it before it causes a catastrophe. Mm-hmm. This may not look like it, but this is actually a failure too. This is I'm fairly positive my mother-in-law doesn't know what Twitch is, or at least she only has a relative idea of it. So there were some challenges with this print. Namely, I was definitely not paying attention, well, at least not attention enough while I sliced it. So that guy is, you might notice, is fairly heavy. Obviously, those of you watching probably wouldn't know, but
it's fairly heavy.
That was accidentally sliced at 100%. So there's 100% infill. So infill is one great way to modify your print. So infill is the inside of the print that you don't see. It's doesn't include the exterior. So the degree of infill impacts the density, the strength of the print. So you might go a little bit lighter infill to save some filament, increase your print speed, and kind of just maybe rough it out. Okay. It also provides a little bit more, in some cases, durability, because that print will flex if you drop it. Yeah. The solid print is kind of like an oak. Very strong, but if it gets the wrong kind of tension across it, it'll just snap. As has happened with his nose a couple times. That's actually a Volt too. You're not actually breaking it as you pull its back off.
Yep, I'll just
he's
take that right
designed to
off.
hold dice or various other knickknacks and whatnot. It'll be for my mother-in-law as soon as I get my chaos figured out on that. Keep getting distracted with work projects.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, like, I'll go home and start playing with work stuff, and I'm like, I should...
Pesky work projects.
Well, it's a benefit of being really interested in what I'm working on. So as I'm teaching myself pen testing or coding or whatever, like, how do I do this? So I think that's actually probably the benefit of the lab is that embracing of what do you want to learn? And Scripps is really cool about that. He's, hey, these are the things we need to get done. If you have free time, what do you want to learn? Let's go find some resources. Let's go forth. And I mean, I've come and talked to you a number of times. I'm like, hey, where do I need to? I can do for C, right? It was Java.
Yeah.
Hey, where do I go? What do I do? How do I do this?
Yeah.
So go download this and don't break anything.
Well, I wouldn't tell you don't break anything. I encourage you to break things. No, that is one of the other cool parts of the lab is the people, right? Like there's so many different skill sets in here, which everything that you've rattled off that you've done, I have no skill in. And so I think that helps because we are all constantly learning from each other and learning stuff and learning new things.
It's mildly distressing, I'll be honest. I mean, I literally work with experts in, I probably can't rattle them all off, but there are experts in all the different fields here. I walk down the hallway and I can find somebody who needs AI, or I have a programming question, or a marketing question, or a design question. I have hey, I'm trying to do this thing with modeling, or, the running joke I have is that I'm the dumb one. I'm just the guy that can fix everything.
Yeah, it seems pretty useful.
Yeah, luckily, guys like this tend to break things, so I get to fix them. It's true. But no, it's to be surrounded by so many intelligent people who know so much and really get to learn. Yeah. I mean, a year ago I wasn't 3D printing, and now I'm designing stuff for production that'll be in front of customers that we're going to be going to contracts or people are going to use for training. That's
it's cool.
Hey, I made that. That's kind of cool. Yeah. Or I developed that training, or I wrote the code that does the thing that does the thing. This 3D arm this robotic arm is a great example of that. Mm-hmm. Build the arm, okay. Test the electronics, rebuild part of the circuit board, cool. Then Scripps goes, all right, well, you need to program it. I'm like, what do you mean I need to program it? He goes, teach it to do things. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, so the very first thing I learned how to code for it was to simulate a manufacturing environment, and then I was working on how do we inject a failure? How do we inject code to cause a failure? Mm-hmm. And a manufacturing plant, failure doesn't have to be like power goes out. It could be tightening of a tolerance being changed. Maybe my little gripper on my arm doesn't quite grip right, so it knocks something slightly askew. A degree change. And that's what I really find interesting about it. Yeah. Especially coming from a technician's background, when things don't quite fit the way they're supposed to.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's amazing the breadth of stuff that people know here.
Oh, yeah. They have. It's insane. It's super, well, and what's funny about that is we can literally go down the hallway. We have a problem. All right, I have this problem. Oh, well, I know something about that. And you're like, huh?
How did you know that? Yeah.
Come here. Oh, yeah, just do this and this. Did you know? Yeah, it's crazy. So, and we have in the back where I sit, we have this big open space where we can kind of, it's literally a big open space. We got a bunch of our tables set around, a bunch of our desks out there, and we can literally collaborate on the fly. Yeah. And several times, in fact, where we've been talking about a problem and you popped up and like, oh, hey, have you thought about this?
Yeah, people, you can hear everybody. You have everybody getting that cross-pollination of.
Yeah, it sounds like chaos, and
it is.
Sometimes
it is chaos.
It really is.
Yeah.
But it's a really fun kind of chaos.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So, I think.
Yes.
I'm gonna
That's
call
dangerous.
it. I think we're gonna be done.
Yeah. Well, if you're thinking, I'm gonna step back. Go grab a fire extinguisher.
Let's keep an eye on it. Yeah. So no, I think that's going to be all for tonight. I mean, I'll give the audience one more chance. If you have questions, feel free to.
We're
drop
accepting
those in there.
Questions about Guy, questions about me if you have them. But I mean, if you want to make fun of Guy, we can do that too. He's a good sport.
I try.
He's also the king of dad jokes.
Oh, I'm not the king. I don't know. I do my best. But I think it's just a natural ability. It just sprouts when you have a kid. Once you become a dad, it just happens.
I do puns.
I hate puns. I just... puns make me sad.
You're saying puns aren't punny?
That's correct.
But
correct.
I've got so much I want to say right now.
I know. I know.
I got this litany.
You know what? Let's go ahead and end the stream right now before this gets out of control.
There were questions.
Thank you. No, there's no questions. Thank you everybody for coming. No, but for real, thank you to everybody who was here. Thank you especially to Anthony for, walking me through all of this stuff because, I could not have done it alone. I know I knew this much before today, and now I know about this much.
Cool. So when are you going to come and actually do your first print?
You know what?
Your very first print could be something for Claire.
I'll take that under advisement. I'll think about that. We'll see. But thank you to Anthony. Thank you to everybody who did come and watched, listened, asked questions, whatever. Like I said at the beginning, we got a fun week of activities, which I can only hope the rest of them live up to the high bar that Anthony has set.
Well, you'll just have to request me to come back if people want me to come back.
That's true.
I mean, I am kind of funny looking. So.
The people can't get enough Anthony. We may have to have more Anthony.
Well, we can talk about other things, right? I mean, I do know more than 3D printing.
Well, clearly. We can talk about scuba diving next time.
I don't think anybody wants to know about that.
I don't know. Lots of people like scuba diving.
At least not on IntelliGenesis.
I don't know. I mean, do more people like scuba diving or college basketball?
So that's actually an interesting question. I have some ideas regarding AI and diving.
Okay. We'll take that offline because we don't want anybody to steal your ideas.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I have ideas. I mean, I have questions. Questions do lead to ideas. All right. We're going to call this one done before we go on for another hour.
Yeah. We'll keep talking.
This is how we're going to turn you in the office. It's terrible.
Yeah. This is the chaos he was talking about.
Well, it's our chaos.
Yeah.
It's our special brand of chaos.
Exactly.
We make people happy.
Yeah.
With smiles.
We are.
And chicken.
All right.
Cake?
I like cake too. Sarah hates cake.
You know, it's pie day.
It is. And we didn't have any pie today. I didn't have any pie.
We should go get pie.
Maybe we will.
Yeah. Pie.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be pizza. That could be pie.
It's true.
I feel more pie.
Yeah.
It's pie. I feel like that's the true
in the spirit
of pie. 3.3. For those of you that are not super nerdy, it is 3.14 today.
Yeah. 3/14. Yeah.
It's kind of like May 4th, the Star Wars Day. This is Pie Day for all of us regular nerds.
Yeah.
So pie.
Yeah. All right. Tomorrow, 7:30, right here, same Twitch channel, same Twitch space.
You really wanted to say bat, didn't you?
No, I didn't. I controlled myself. I kept it locked down. Tomorrow, 7:30, I will be talking to Antonio Sanchez, who, like I said, is our VR guy.
Different Anthony.
Yeah, it's kind of like Anthony, but not. We'll be talking about VR. We'll be talking about game-based learning, immersive environments, all kinds of interesting stuff. So please hop in, tune in then, give us a watch. But that is all we have for tonight. So thank you, everybody, for watching. And we will see you tomorrow as I roll forward to turn off the stream.
Fall out of your chair?
Yep, as I fall out of my chair.
There you go.
Good night, everybody.